Do you ever just meet someone who can't follow instructions?
Why, yes, I have met Book.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing.
Calm down, children. Ryder's probably segueing into something anyways.
Thank you. Anyways, today we're looking at someone who can't follow instructions. That being Guyonabench. The video is titled, "The Ending of Gato Roboto Makes Me Mad."
I mean, the end could have been better though, as it does hint to a sequel. Overall, I wouldn't consider it infuriating.
Oh, this has little to do with the ending itself, and more so to do with Guyonabench not listening to the game's dialogue.
Oh, so this must be the reason why they put instructions on shampoo.
I guess you could say that. Anyways, let's get into it.
I am somewhat of a completionist, but I had not reached 100% completion when I finished the game. I couldn't find the last collectibles, and decided that I would get back to that when I had finished the story. You eventually reach a point in the game where you are told that this is the point of no return, and I thought, reasonably enough, that it meant that after passing that point, I wouldn't be able to go back and explore the world until I had beaten the final boss, but would be able to afterwards.
If you genuinely thought that, then you sure as hell didn't read what was actually said by the computer.
Let's read what was said word for word then. Attention, non-humanoid visitor of research facility. Cat, you should be aware before continuing below. The return function has been disabled for this elevator. Your safety is not guaranteed. This is, in other words, the point of no return. As in, if there is a human controlling you, and they wish to return to a previous point, and collect inconsequential artifacts from around the world, in order to satiate to their desire to feel 100%, then they might want to turn back now.
The game literally addresses the player and tells them directly if they want to 100% the game to turn back.
There isn't any way you could have misunderstood that unless you actively weren't reading.
It's not the game's fault you didn't listen. All that falls on you and you alone.
But when they say point of no return, they really mean it.
Yes! Yes, they did! What was there to misunderstand? What made you think the game wasn't telling the truth?
After the credits, I wanted to go back into my save file to see if I could find some of the things I had missed. But instead of loading into the world I had been in before, I loaded into the spaceship that you as the cat take off in the last cutscene. I was a bit confused, but I thought it was pretty neat that the game acknowledges the final events of the story. Then I discovered the funny thing about this spaceship. There is no getting out of it. You're stuck. You can roam around and talk to a mouse, but there is no exit. You can't go back and explore the world.
Exactly! The game warned you that you couldn't. Yet you didn't listen. This is not the game's fault, it's yours.
Why would you ever think that the game would load you at the last checkpoint before you got to the credits?
I don't know, maybe because the game told you it wasn't going to?
But yeah, that really disappointed me. It made me quite mad, to be honest, at the time. Also because I think the ending to the story was very unsatisfying, and I wanted to see if I could do something to get a better ending. This whole thing might not be a huge problem for everyone, of course, because not all care about 100%ing a game.
Yeah, and most people know how to read.
And when the credits roll, they're done with it and have had their fun. But for those, like me, who want to go back and find the last secrets and experience what else the game has to offer, it is very disappointing to find out that that's simply not an option. I could have prolonged the ending and searched for the last collectibles, but my patience was wearing thin, and I figured I could do that after experiencing the ending of the game.
Well, that's no one's fault except your own.
Anyways, gamers, have a good night.
So am I. So am I. So am I.